All right, let's just dive right into this explainer, where we're breaking down a really revolutionary, entirely natural sleep method. It was developed by an 88-year-old Japanese neurologist, and the whole goal is to help you ditch sleeping pills for good. We're going to explore the research and the clinical experience of Dr. Yasuhira Tamura. Now, this is a doctor who spent over 50 years specializing specifically in senior sleep disorders. But what makes this so incredibly fascinating is that Dr. Tamura actually cured his own severe, late-in-life insomnia using the exact same ancestral techniques we're about to cover right now.
So this explainer tackles a problem that is just highly relatable: the painful reality of senior insomnia, and honestly, the hidden dangers of modern sleep aids. Listen, if you are over 60 and you're waking up at 2 a.m. every single night just staring at the ceiling, you are absolutely not alone. As we age, our natural biological rhythms just get thrown drastically out of sync. It happens to so many of us. And naturally, people turn to sleeping pills in total desperation. But as Dr. Tamura's research points out, those pills, they often completely fail to solve the actual root cause of the awakening. So you just end up feeling groggy and frustrated the entire next day.
Here's our quick roadmap for the explainer today. First, the senior sleep crisis. Second, the aging brain's clock. Then we'll hit Pillar 1, time rhythms. Pillar 2, dietary wisdom. Pillar 3, environmental harmony. And finally, we'll wrap up with the 3-minute sleep routine.
Okay, starting with Section 1, the senior sleep crisis and the real truth about pills.
Consider patients like 92-year-old Hanako. She suffered from really severe insomnia for 5 long years. She was literally terrified of the nighttime, and she became heavily reliant on multiple different sleeping pills. But you know what? She still woke up constantly. But remarkably, by applying the ancient Japanese wisdom we're unpacking today, this method cured her reliance on medication in just a few short months. It allowed her to sleep a full 8 hours, completely naturally. And why does this work? Well, because while pills just sort of suppress your brain's overall activity to basically force you unconscious, natural sleep actively repairs it. You see, natural sleep runs in these 90-minute cycles. And during those cycles, your brain is actually highly active. It's busy sorting memories, and your body is secreting growth hormones for physical repair. Long-term pill use, on the other hand, actually weakens the hippocampus. That's the memory center of the brain, which leads to the exact kind of memory loss so many seniors are afraid of. Natural sleep actively protects and restores it.
Moving on to Section 2, the aging brain's clock, and exactly why we stop sleeping deeply.
To explain this, Dr. Tamura uses this absolutely fantastic metaphor. He describes the brain as a massive, bustling city of 86 billion neurons. And deep inside the city is the pineal gland, which he beautifully calls the old watchmaker. Now, this watchmaker's job is to produce melatonin, which is your crucial sleep hormone. But here's the catch. As we cross 60 years of age, this watchmaker gets a little clumsy. It's almost like he's developed presbyopia, and suddenly melatonin production drops to less than half of what it was back in our 20s. And to make matters worse, he gets super easily confused by the modern blue light coming from our TVs and smartphones. Because of that light, he completely misses the evening signals to start preparing the body for sleep.
So how do we fix it? That brings us to Section 3. Pillar 1, time rhythms.
We need to help the watchmaker out. The 5 p.m. switch is an incredible daily ritual that you can literally start today. At exactly 5 p.m., you need to manually trigger your brain's evening mode. First, dim your lights by 50% or switch to warm, orange-toned lighting. This mimics a sunset, and Japanese research shows it's highly effective for resetting the body clock. Second, lower your TV or phone volume to about 70% to reduce auditory stimulation. And third, take 3 deep breaths, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. That simple act shifts your whole nervous system into safety mode. One of the doctor's patients, a 77-year-old former businessman, used this exact switch, and he said it felt like he'd installed a physical clock right back inside his body.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the 8 p.m. stomach reset. Did you know our digestive tract actually has its very own biological clock, and it heavily impacts our brain's sleep center? By eating absolutely no solid foods after 8 p.m., you are allowing your stomach the 3 full hours it needs to empty out before an 11 p.m. bedtime. But the real secret weapon here? Taking a tiny pinch of natural salt dissolved in warm water. Doing this balances your body's hydration levels internally, which drastically prevents you from having to wake up and use the bathroom right in the middle of the night.
Let's jump to Section 4, Pillar 2, dietary wisdom. A perfect night of sleep actually begins at breakfast. I know, wild, right? It starts with the morning wake-up soup.
This traditional recipe is meticulously packed with the exact amino acids your brain needs to build sleep hormones 14 hours later. The kelp provides glutamatic acid to calm the brain, the tofu supplies tryptophan, and tryptophan is the direct building block your body converts into melatonin at night. Finally, a little bit of grated ginger stimulates healthy blood circulation, which completely resets your core body temperature for the day ahead.
Moving right along into the afternoon, the doctor addresses that dreaded daytime sleepiness. We've all been there. To avoid ruining your nighttime sleep pressure, you've got to follow the strict 15-minute rule right after lunch. Instead of heading straight to the couch or laying in bed, you need to sit completely upright for exactly 15 minutes while slowly sipping warm tea. This upright posture prevents your digestion from slowing down too much and keeps your blood sugar from spiking erratically. It essentially aids digestion before you allow yourself a short, restorative rest, ensuring you don't accidentally sabotage your sleep for that right.
Then we get to dinner. For dinner, Dr. Tamura recommends a really highly structured 6-2-1 formula. Your dinner should happen about 6 hours before bed, and the meal itself should balance 2 parts carbohydrates to 1 part protein. Why that specific ratio? Well, because carbohydrates actually promote the secretion of serotonin, the happy hormone, that eventually turns into melatonin. Meanwhile, keeping heavy proteins down to just 1 part ensures your digestion stays super light. If you eat too much protein at night, digesting it actually generates heat. That raises your core body temperature at the exact time when your body is desperately trying to cool itself down for sleep.
Next up is Section 5, Pillar 3, Environmental Harmony.
Let's break down the precise 4 temperatures of the bedroom. Most people only ever think about the room temperature, right? Which, for the record, should ideally be between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius. But the doctor emphasizes that your core body temperature must stay slightly cool under thin blankets, while your feet temperature must remain warm. Wearing loose leg warmers or thin, breathable socks keeps the blood circulating effectively. This totally prevents you from waking up shivering in the middle of the night or, on the flip side, kicking off heavy covers in a full sweat.
And you know, it's not just about temperature, it's also about sensory safety. Instead of total, unnatural silence, which, believe it or not, can actually make an aging brain hyper-alert, the doctor recommends creating a landscape of rhythmic, distant sounds. Placing a ticking analog clock just a few meters away steadies your heart rate. Cracking a window for natural wind or even distant traffic noise provides a really soothing acoustic backdrop. Furthermore, tapping into scent memory is huge. Nostalgic, earthy scents like hinoki wood, fresh tatami mats, or just a tiny bit of mild incense signal deep, deep safety to your primitive brain, instantly recalling the comforts of childhood.
All right, bringing it all home with Section 6, the 3-minute sleep routine.
Let's tie all of these pillars together with the doctor's famous rapid-fire routine that you do right before closing your eyes in bed. Minute 1 is entirely dedicated to the body. For the first 20 seconds, fix your posture and just ensure your neck curve is naturally supported by your pillow. Then, for the next 20 seconds, sequentially tense and quickly release your muscles, starting all the way down at your toes and working up to your face. Finally, finish out the first minute by slowing your heart rate through targeted breath work. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale for 6.
Now, minute 2 shifts to your emotional state. For the first 30 seconds, reflect on 3 tiny things to be grateful for today. Honestly, it could be as simple as having a really good cup of tea or a neighbor smiling at you on the street. For the remaining 30 seconds, visualize one specific thing to look forward to tomorrow, like eating a delicious breakfast or watching your favorite show. Doing this floods your brain with positive, relaxing chemicals, basically pushing out all of the day's stress.
Finally, minute 3. This is the brain sweep. It's a remarkably simple cognitive distraction technique where you slowly count backward from 100 to 1. By giving your brain a mildly complex but incredibly boring task, you effectively sweep away any remaining daily anxieties. It literally forces your mind into a monotonous, worry-free state right as you start to drift off.
And the success of this exact methodology is just staggering. According to the clinic's records, out of over 1,000 senior patients tracked, a massive 95% reported significant improvements in their sleep quality and their overall daytime mood just by following these exact steps. 95%. That's huge.
The data totally backs this up too. After 6 months of practicing this Japanese natural sleep method, the average time it took these seniors to fall asleep plummeted from a deeply frustrating 45 minutes down to just 12 minutes. Patients also reported vast improvements in daytime vitality, stabilized blood pressure, and a dramatic reduction in nighttime awakenings.
But remember, reversing years of poor sleep habits or pill dependency, it takes time. You absolutely cannot expect perfection on night 1.
Aim for about 80% perfection. Don't stress out if you miss the 5 p.m. switch by a few minutes one day. Give your biological clock at least 3 weeks of gentle, imperfect dedication to catch up. And of course, if you are currently on medication, absolutely consult your doctor before making any sudden changes.
I want to leave you with this really beautiful thought from Dr. Tamura. Natural sleep isn't just about resting your eyes. It's about reclaiming your joy. When you sleep well, your mood lifts, your family feels it, and that positivity literally ripples out into the world. So looking back at all the pillars we covered in this explainer today, which of these gentle habits are you going to try tonight?